Weird. Hi, I can't hear you. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? It looks like my backstage, it looks like I'm muted. Hello?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Am I audible now?
yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Yes. How are you, Emily?
Oh, I'm good. I just got a little worried.
Yeah, there is a technical glitch, I think.
I'm sorry?
There is a technical glitch, I think. No need to worry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
Great.
welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2025, Emily.
Thank you.
And before starting your session, I want to introduce you to our audience, Emily.
Great. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, great. Great.
Emily is a master certified executive coach, keynote speaker, and founder of Golden Resources. With over 25 years in talent management, she has become a trusted C-suite partner known for her business acumen and emotional intelligence. She has coached leaders across Fortune 50 companies and beyond, delivering over 5,000 hours of transformative leadership development. Her book, The New Golden Rule, inspires self leadership and cultural transformation. Emily's work empowers organizations to unlock potential and build thriving, authentic workplaces. That was a really great journey, and the stage is all yours, Emily.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. We're going to dive right in. This is Alex. Alex is the leader. She's the one with all the answers, the solutions, the vision. Alex had it all: a thriving career, a loyal team, a track record of success. And from the outside, Alex was the leader everyone aspired to be. But inside Alex was crumbling. Her days were filled with self-doubt, pressure, and nagging, this nagging sense that she was never enough. Alex worked late into the night, answering emails, solving problems, sacrificing her sleep all the while telling herself, this is what great leadership demands. But cracks started to show. You see, Alex's health took a hit and her energy plummeted. Her team suffered. Her leadership suffered too. Alex felt emotionally distant, really unable to connect with her team. She used to have this inspiring presence, but it faded. Yet Alex kept pushing forward because she knew good leaders must give everything. Perhaps you can see yourself in Alex. As leaders, we often excel at guiding others, right? But when it comes to leading ourselves, that's where things start to fall apart. We tend to sacrifice our well being for our teams, our careers, our goals. But at what cost? Because there is going to be a breaking point. There's a term called the success paradox, coined by Gary Cooper, and it refers to the disconnect between external success and internal exhaustion. Think of it like a relentless mechanism that prioritizes external achievement over internal experience. Alex suffered from the success paradox. And many of us in this virtual room suffer from the success paradox too. But what if it's not about sacrificing yourself for others, but rather transforming yourself? Because none of us can be on all the time like Alex. Eventually, we lose steam, we drain our battery, and we actually abandon ourselves. True leadership begins with self leadership. True leadership begins with self leadership. The reason I work with leaders like Alex is deeply personal to me. I've had my own share of breakdowns and then breakthroughs. You see, doctors once told me that I'd be in a wheelchair by now. I was born with two rare conditions: Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which makes my connective tissue fragile, and Klippel-Feil syndrome, which is why I'm missing 6 discs in my cervical spine. I can't turn my head like most people, and that's just the physical part. In 5th grade, I was failing school. It took years of specialized tutoring to learn how to learn. And then in college, I was diagnosed with something you may be familiar with: anxiety. My life has been a constant cycle of setback, recovery, growth. Setback, recovery, growth. For a long time, I felt broken. I learned to hide the pain and just push through. But over time, something shifted inside me. I realized strength wasn't just pushing through the hard moments, it was learning from them. Eventually, I started to see it differently. My story isn't about what my body can't do, it's about what my spirit can do. And living in a body that doesn't always cooperate has taught me more about leadership than any classroom ever could. So when someone like Alex hits a wall, I don't shy away. I lean in with every ounce of what I have lived and learned. And it starts with this: true leadership begins with self leadership. Simon Sinek wrote a whole book called Leaders Eat Last. And even he says in that very book, to lead others, you must first learn to lead yourself. His book is named Leaders Eat Last. And even he says, you must first learn to lead yourself. In every high functioning system, from corporate teams to ecosystems, the leader carries unique responsibilities on his or her shoulders. And because of that, the leader's needs are different. Their care, their rhythm, and their protection must be different too. This is the foundation of sustainable leadership, knowing that your ability to lead others long term depends on how well you're caring for yourself. And friends, this isn't just philosophy, it's biology. We see this truth echoed not just in boardrooms, but in nature. The lead dog on a sledding team has a different training schedule, different care than the other dogs. The queen bee, she doesn't forage like the other workers. Her role is to perpetuate the hive by laying thousands of eggs. The lead goose, flying south, has a very specific pattern it follows to lead. Sustaining the path is a matter of life or death in the animal kingdom. Different positions require different priorities. Why would it be any different for a human leader? The journey starts with treating yourself the way you want others to treat you. Treating yourself the way you want to be treated. It's about self-compassion. It's about setting boundaries. It's about releasing the myth that leadership requires constant sacrifice. So if you've ever felt the tension between outward success and inward exhaustion, you're not alone. This talk is for you. Together, we're going to uncover how to break free from the success paradox and lead in a way that's not only effective, but sustainable, transforming yourself, transforming your leadership. Peanut butter and jelly. Bread, peanut butter, jelly. Making lemonade: lemons, water, sugar. French fries. Potato, oil, salt. 3 things that take 3 easy steps. What if I told you that sustainable leadership can be that easy? Breaking free from the success paradox requires 3 different things that take 3 steps. Those things are the common traps that I have seen leaders fall into over and over and over again in my work. They are trap 1, the inner critic, trap 2, the fear of losing it all, and trap 3, emotional disconnection. Let's take a walk through each of these traps and what the 3 steps are necessary to escape them. We're going to start with trap number 1, the inner critic. You know the voice. You're not good enough. You don't belong here. It thrives on self-doubt and it wears the mask of perfectionism. Let's go back to Alex, our friend Alex. For her, this voice was relentless. I would get emails and texts of self-doubt. Emily, did I make the right decision? Emily, how should I handle this situation? Underneath, the inner critic. Alex, you only got here because people like you. You're not qualified like your peers. These voices, this inner critic, drove Alex to micromanage her team, eroding trust a little more every day. And I've been there too, replaying every meeting in my head, wondering, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Research tells us, though, Alex and I, we're not alone. Harvard Business Review found 58% of tech leaders and 75% of female executives experience imposter syndrome. But here's the good news. We can quiet the inner critic, and it takes just 3 steps, like making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1, self-awareness. Notice when the inner critic shows up and ask, is this helpful? Is this true? Step 2, self-compassion. You, I'm going to assert, would talk kindly to a friend who's being hard on him or herself, right? Great. Now talk to yourself the same way. And finally, step 3, self-care. Because friends, who on earth wants to follow someone who's sleep deprived and living on Snickers? I love this quote by basketball great LeBron James. He says, "You can't achieve greatness unless you take care of your mind and body." Because when you take care of your mind and body, resilience rises and greatness stops feeling like such a struggle. So again, self-awareness, self-compassion, and self-care. But if the inner critic keeps us frozen, the next trap keeps us running like a hamster on a wheel. That is trap number 2, the fear of losing it all. Golden handcuffs, a term used in business referring to the financial incentives companies use to keep employees from leaving. Big salaries, stock options, supersized bonuses. Status is part of this. Think corner office. Our friend Alex, her career looked perfect. She had all these things, but she also had the unsustainable pressure to be the perfect leader. Alex was trapped, and this caused her to play it safe. She stopped taking risks. She micromanaged. And over time, her team, not surprisingly, mirrored her fear. Researcher and psychologist Andrew Elliott's research shows leaders driven by fear of loss make conservative decisions and avoid change. Not good for business. So, what if success isn't about clutching tightly to what you have, but rather breaking free and trusting yourself to grow, to adapt, to evolve? But how? Again, the answer has 3 steps, just like making lemonade. The steps to break free from the fear of losing it all start with step 1. Acknowledge the fear. Name it. Just say it. I'm afraid of losing everything. I'm afraid of losing this. Saying it out loud strips it of its power. Step 2. Reframe failure. Fail. First attempt in learning. Fail. And step 3. Own your accomplishments. You earned your spot. Celebrate small wins and remind yourself being perfect isn't the job description, but continuing to grow is. So, step 1 is to name the fear. Step 2, reframe failure. And step 3, own your accomplishments. Hey, fear may be a passenger on the leadership journey, but it certainly does not have to be the driver. So, we're going to move on to trap number 3, emotional disconnection and inaccessibility. So, here's the truth, or as my kiddos say, the tea. If your team can't feel you, they won't follow you. So, on the surface, disconnected leaders look composed, unshakable, but often beneath the surface, there's isolation and insecurity. Alex, Alex thought vulnerability was weakness. She was strictly business, no personal check ins, and absolutely no sharing struggles. Alex had boxed herself in. She was isolated and her team couldn't feel her. Daniel Goleman's research shows that emotionally intelligent leaders build teams that trust one another and collaborate better. And this leads to increased innovation and productivity, improving business results. So, what if I said, I have the key for you to walk right out of that box that Alex put herself in? And you guessed it, with 3 easy steps, just like making French fries. Step 1, name your feelings. This creates clarity and supports emotional regulation. At the end, you'll have a chance to actually get a free downloadable feelings wheel to support you with this. Step 2 is to feel your feelings. Please do not suppress them. Feel them, move through them. It doesn't make you weak. Actually, emotions can be your superpower. And step 3, honor your feelings. Feeling stressed? Share it with someone you trust. Feeling like a team member seems a little off? Get curious. Show them that you care and acknowledge how good connection actually feels. Step 1, name your feelings. Step 2, feel your feelings. And step 3, honor your feelings. The result? Well, fewer boxes, greater presence, and of course, stronger leadership. Now that we've talked about the steps to break through the success paradox, I want to offer you one final idea, one that pulls it all together. You've heard the oxygen mask safety instructions on an airplane, right? In the event of a sudden loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop from the ceiling. Place yours on first before assisting anyone else. even children. Okay, now picture this, okay? You're on an airplane, the cabin pressure drops, oxygen masks fall, and instead of putting yours on, your instinct kicks in. You start scanning the cabin to see who needs help first. For many of us, that instinct feels noble, or it just feels right. We've been taught that leadership means sacrifice, that serving others always comes first. And honestly, we take pride in this selflessness, don't we? We value being the one others can count on, even at our own expense. But friends, there's a reason they repeat that oxygen mask instruction on every flight. Because if you can't breathe, you simply can't help anyone. Caring for yourself doesn't diminish your ability to serve. It actually protects it. This brings us to something I call the new golden rule. Treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated. Okay, maybe you're out there thinking, I don't know, but maybe you are. Emily, how could you possibly suggest that there's something wrong with the golden rule, the old golden rule? We grew up with it. Emily, it's our moral compass. It was as readily available at our tables as meat and potatoes. And you're right. There's nothing wrong with it. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's beautiful and it matters. But I would humbly offer that it's incomplete. Because for many of us, treating others well is not a problem. If anything, we overextend ourselves doing just that. The part that often gets neglected is ourself. That's why I offer the new golden rule. Treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated. Because when you extend the same respect, kindness, and boundaries to yourself, the same things you so willingly offer to others, something extraordinary happens. You give yourself permission to breathe when you need it, to listen to your instincts, to honor your limits. And when you do that for yourself, your leadership, it doesn't weaken, it strengthens, and it becomes sustainable. Everyone benefits. Let's go back to Alex. Alex was the kind of leader who gave everything, every ounce of energy, every spare moment, every last bit of herself to her team, her organization, her mission. I introduced Alex to the new golden rule, and at first she resisted. Like so many of us, she thought caring for herself would make her selfish, perhaps less effective, even less committed. But eventually, she was willing to try. She set boundaries. She took real rest. She learned to accept all of herself, strengths, limits, imperfections, all of it. And the transformation was powerful. She became more grounded, more present, more connected. And not just for herself, but for her team. The new golden rule didn't diminish her leadership, it made it contagious. Leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. And to be real, you have to start with you. So I invite you to reflect on what are your strengths and your superpowers? What are your limits and your blind spots? And most importantly, what would it mean for you and you alone to treat yourself the way you want others to treat you? When you embrace your full self, strengths, flaws, all of it, you give your team permission to do the same. You create a culture where people feel safe, seen, even energized. An organization that values well-being as much as it values results. And a leader, you, who leads with compassion, but not just compassion for others, compassion for yourself. It may sound idealistic, maybe radical to you, but I promise it's not. It's entirely possible, and it starts with the new golden rule. Because, friends, the world doesn't need any more perfect leaders. It needs real ones. It needs you. Thank you so much. So I am a coach, and I am always hungry for feedback. So I will provide you with a free feelings wheel if you will spend just a few minutes giving some feedback on that talk so near and dear to my heart.
Yes, Emily, that was a really fantastic talk. And we have a few questions from our audience, Emily.
Great.
Yeah, and I want to ask you one of them.
Sure.
Yeah. How can self leadership impact overall team performance?
How can self-leadership impact overall team
Team
performance? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So self-leadership absolutely impacts the overall landscape of your leadership. So when you're self-compassionate, it creates compassionate leadership. So when you give grace to yourself, you're naturally going to give grace to other people. I have seen in my work that leaders who model self-compassion build teams that are psychologically safe. And really, that might seem like a buzz phrase, but what it means is that people are safe to take risks. They're safe to be human. And then along those lines, like when we know how to create boundaries for ourselves, we actually train and teach the people we work with to do the same. When you honor your limits and protect your energy, you're implicitly giving permission for your team to do the same, and they mirror what they see.
Yeah, that was a really excellent answer. And thank you so much for your valuable time, Emily.
You are so welcome.
Yeah, we are very honored that you joined as a speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
And
much for the opportunity.
yeah, and beyond the backstage, and please join in our next session, Emily.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.